Welcome to Numbers Simplified. In this channel, we seek to simplify and solve numerical problems. Today, we'll be looking at the minimum and the maximum of a quadratic curve. This is part 8, and I encourage you to check out all the other videos prior to this one here, all on Numbers Simplified. And make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads on the quadratics list or any other topic. Getting into today's business, the greatest and the least point of a parabola, the minimum or the maximum of a quadratic curve. Recall, for y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where the a, b, c are elements of real numbers and a not being equal to 0, the shape formed by y is a parabola. Now, using the completing the squares method, y can be expressed in the form y is equals to x plus b over 2a squared minus b over 2a squared plus c. Or, simply put, y is equals to x plus h all squared plus k, where the h is b over 2a and the k is equal to minus b over 2a squared plus c over a. The curve y has a vertex that is either a maximum or a minimum point, minus h and k. Case 1. The minimum point if a is greater than 0. That is to say that the coefficient of x squared is a positive value, so we would have a minimum point hk as indicated on the graph, and of course, with the line of symmetry, x is equals to h. Let's take a look at an example. Example 1, express 2x squared plus 9x plus 4 in the form a x plus b squared plus c, where a, b, and c are constants. Write down the coordinates of the vertex of the curve. Y is equals to 2x squared plus 9x plus 4, and state whether this is a maximum or a minimum point. The solution for A. Recall from the completing the squares video part 3 and 4, 2x squared plus 9x plus 4 can actually be expressed in this form, where we factor out the 2 to make the coefficient of x squared be 1. From there, we put the x and half of the coefficient of x, which is 9. In this case, we are going to end up having 9 over 4 because we divided by 2 first as we were factoring the 2 out, the square bracket, and getting the half of 9 over 2, we get a 9 over 4 squared. Then we subtract the square of that half plus the c that we have, the new c. When we factored out the 2, we were left with the 2, and then we get that. If this does not make much sense, I encourage you to check out part 3 and part 4 of the quadratics list. We cover this in great detail. Moving on then, it means that we can actually express that expression as 2 times x plus 9 over 4 squared minus 49 over 8, which answers part A. Now, moving on to part B, of course, we have the solution for part A on the left-hand side for ease of reference. We are saying that from A, the vertex is given by 9 over 4 and minus 49 over 8. Recall from the case 1, we had h, which was inside the curved bracket, and the bit that was outside, which was the k. So in this case, we are going to have our vertex rather as a minus 9 over 4 because that has to be a negative. Then the k remains the same. And since our a is greater than 0, it is a minimum point. So as a sketch, we have it in the diagram over here. This is what we looked at in case 1. Now, let's move on to case 2. The maximum point if a is less than 0, which is the coefficient of x squared being less than 0, we would have a maximum point of the vertex, where the hk is the maximum point and x is equal to h being the line of symmetry. Let's look at example 2. Write 1 plus x minus 2x squared in the form p minus 2 times x minus q squared, and b, sketch the graph of y is equal to 1 plus x minus 2x squared. The solution for a. So we have minus 2x squared plus x plus 1 being rearranged so that we see the order of the quadratic expression that we have. And of course, we can factor out that negative 2 so that we make the coefficient of x squared be 1 so that we have it in this form. Minus 2 times x squared minus x over 2 minus 1 over 2. Then whatever is inside the square brackets or parentheses, we can apply the completing the squares method on it. So meaning that we get half of the coefficient of x, which was minus half. So half of that would be a minus a quarter. Then we square that and subtract that, and also keeping our constant term, which was a minus 1 over 2. Great. So with that, we simplify further so that we get minus 2 times x minus 1 over 4 squared minus 9 over 16. And introducing the 2 into the square bracket or parentheses, we are going to have 9 over 8 minus 2 times x minus 1 over 4 squared. And that answers part A. Now for part B, we intend to get the sketch. So for us to get the sketch, we would need to know what the vertex is and recall from A, the h was a minus 1 over 4, implying that it will be 1 over 4, positive 1 over 4, and the k was 9 over 8, so that we have that as the vertex. Now, since A is a minus 2, that is the coefficient of x squared, this is less than 0, it implies that the vertex is a maximum point. So, sketching that, on the x coordinates, we set y to be equal to 0, and we actually solve for x. And solving for x, we would then move the other term that is not being squared on the right hand side, and of course dividing by the negative 2 so that we have 9 over 16. We move on to solve for x by introducing the square root on both sides. So the square root clears with the squared on the left hand side, and square roots each and every term that we have on the right hand side, but leaving a plus or minus, so that we have x is equals to 1 over 4 plus or minus 3 over 4. And with that, we are going to get x is equals to minus 1 over 2, or x is equals to 1. And then sketching that, we are going to have that graph over here. We see the x intercept as well as the vertex there. Then that is how we would get it. Great. So if you have made it thus far into the video, I say congratulations to you. Task: find the minimum value of x squared minus 7x plus 8 and the corresponding value of x. Remember, your experience in the sessions, your preferred numerical future topics, your questions, concerns, and suggestions are always welcome here. And I encourage you to write them down in the comments section below. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads, whether it be the quadratic series, list, or any other topic that might be of interest to you. Thanks so much for watching Numbers Simplified. God loves you.